blogs, I'm going to use chat.openai.com/chat. I'm going to use this to create some ideas and see if I can at least flesh out a couple pages and see where it goes, check for originality, all that sort of thing. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is, I have no idea where to go. So I want to ask, give me some nice ideas for a mystery, for writing a mystery novel that is compelling and exciting to read, with lots of twists and plots and subplots. Yeah, how about that? So I'm going to just, I don't know what it's going to give me. Oh, look at that. Okay, so create a complex, flawed protagonist who is trying to solve a mystery. Give me some nice ideas. Okay, use multiple narrators to provide, include a number of red herrings, false leads. Okay. So these are some of the ideas. All right, use foreshadowing to hint at future events. All right, create a sense of urgency. I need to do that. That'll keep people motivated, wanting to read more. Non-linear narrative, and I think that's it. So just a quick list. All right, so let's do write the opening scene to a murder mystery. Let's see. We need to create a complex and flawed protagonist. Murder mystery where the daughter of the mayor is accused of, I don't know what she's accused of, being a witch. Tie this into the murder creatively. Let's see what happens there. It was a dark and stormy night. Ooh, clever. In the small town of Ravenswood, the wind howled through the streets, whipping the rain against the windows of the old, dilapidated houses. In the center of town stood the grand mansion of the mayor, a towering structure of stone and wood that loomed over the rest of the village like a watchful sentinel. Inside the mayor's mansion, a group of villagers huddled together in this drawing room, their faces etched with fear, concern, and the mayor sat at the head of the table, his head in his hands, as the village constable stood before him, his hat in his hands. "Mr. Mayor," the constable began, "I'm afraid I have some very bad news. Your daughter, Abigail, has been accused of witchcraft." The mayor looked up, his eyes filled with shock and disbelief. "That's impossible," he said. "Abigail is a good girl. She would never do something like that." "I'm afraid it's true, sir," the constable said gravely. "She was found in the woods, surrounded by strange symbols and potions. Then there's more. A body was found in the forest not far from Abigail, where she was arrested. A body of a young man who was a known antagonist of Abigail's. It appears that he was murdered." The villagers gasped in shock, and the mayor sat back in the chair, his mind racing with the implications of the news. He knew that if his daughter was found guilty of witchcraft and murder, it would mean the end of his career and his family's reputation. "Oh, can't happen. I'll do whatever it takes to clear my daughter's name," the mayor said determinedly. "I'll hire the best lawyer in the land and find the real killer. I will. I'll prove that Abigail is innocent and that the real murderer is still out there lurking in the shadows." The constable nodded. I'll help you in any way I can, sir, but you should know that the villagers are already talking about the witch hunt, and it won't be easy to convince them of Abigail's innocence. We must act and be careful." And with that, the two men set out to uncover the truth and clear Abigail's name. As the villagers watched with bated breath, uncertain of what the future held of the daughter of the mayor accused of witchcraft. Okay, Yes, I like that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy all of this. This gets a little weird because it wants to copy that too. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to open a Word doc. Because obviously, as I go through this thing, I want to be able to have this down. All right, and let's change the formatting, and we'll do that. Okay, so we have something, right? It was a dark and stormy night in the small town of Ravenswood. What is Ravenswood? Well, let's copy that, and then let's go back to our ChatGPT. Please describe in detail what is it? Ravenswood, just like Edgar Allan Poe would. I hope I spelled his name right. Okay, so let's see what's said. Ravenswood is a place of darkness and decay, a rotting corpse of a town that lay nestled in the heart of a dense, foreboding forest. The twisted, gnarled trees loomed over the village like a canopy of death, casting a permanent shadow over the streets below. The houses were old and decrepit, their walls crumbling and their roofs sagging. The cobblestone streets were cracked and overrun with weeds, and the air was thick with the stench of decay and rot. In the center of Ravenswood stood the grand mansion of the mayor, towering structure of stone and wood that seemed out of place among the... Okay, so it looks like it's repeating itself a little bit. But it's got some stuff on here that's new. Ravenswood was a place of death and decay, a place living and dead and forever. Unraveling, it was a place... Alright, so what I need to do is I just need to grab... Let me start from here. I want to copy the question too. So here I will go and go back to my Word doc. And so this is something new, right? So I'm going to put this here. And that. So right here is a question. I'm just going to mark it question. I don't even know if it's going to fit, right? At the end of it's like Edgar Allan Poe. All right. I don't even know if it's going to fit, but I just put it on there. So, and then my question here, so I had some background. Write an opening scene of a murder mystery. So I need to write that because that was my question. And it just helps me keep track of what's going on. So let me put this up here. Question. Paste that in. All right, and that was what I wrote. And then before that, I think there was stuff. I don't know if I want to hang on to it. Anyway, what I can do is I can just leave it alone. I want this question to be different in its own place. I don't want it to get mixed up. So I'm going to put it in a use page break so that when I print it, if I want to do it that way, I can do, okay, this section here, and then cut some items from here, highlight some items in here, and then I'm going to create another page break, and then I'm going to go back, and I wanted to tell me why. Okay, so this was the original dark and stormy night. The wind howled, mansion. So, a grand mansion of the mayor. Let's describe that. So I'm going to copy that. Describe in horrid detail why people did not like going to the mayor's house. Was it because it was haunted? Let's let's check. The mayor's house was a place of dread and unease, a place where the villagers feared to tread. It was said that the house was cursed, that it was built on top of ancient burial ground, and that the spirits of the dead still roamed the halls. The villagers whispered of strange noises that could be heard coming from the house at night, of ghostly apparitions that appeared in the windows, and of the doors that opened and closed on their own accord. That sounds pretty good. Okay, what else is there? Others believed that the house was cursed by a powerful witch who had placed a spell on the land. Despite the rumors, the mayor refused to leave the house, insisting that it was a place of great power and that it would not be driven out. He would not be driven out by mere superstition. What else? And so the house stood in the dark. Okay, cool. Get that. I'll copy that. Actually, I also want to copy the question. So I'm going to copy that. Go back to my Word doc. And I'm going to go here. So if it was into the question, I might just leave those dark. I don't know. Just so that I can remember where things are. So this is a question. Describe and describe. Okay, so then you know what I'm also going to do, just to make it more obvious for me where things are and start and all that. Let me go here and put a heading right here, heading 2. I haven't given this thing a title yet, which is title is in progress. Heading 2. So I can remember where these are. And yeah. So now you just kind of copy paste and have it flow. So how do I make sure that this is going to work out? You know, I don't want to do this and then have it where it's like, oh, sorry, it was all copywritten or plagiarism or something. Well, I'm going to check it. So I'm going to just kind of copy this, see how we go. I'm going to go to my browser here and I'm going to go to Grammarly. I have an account there and I have a whole bunch of articles that will probably just show up right now. And I do, and I'm going to create a new one and I'm going to paste it. I want it to be creative, so I'm going to tell a story for knowledgeable people and no one in particular as far as formality goes, and click done. And it says it's too short. I got an 87, okay. And how's my plagiarism? If it's under 10, that'd be cool. Ooh, 7. Okay, obviously this is somebody's. It was a dark and stormy night in the small. The rains, the wind, and rains pounded. Yeah, how about that? The small town of Ravenswood. Okay, how about this one? Let's rewrite that one. Some correcting. The wind looks good. Alright. Plagiarism. Let's check that. It's a bit bland, so we have to fix it. There's no plagiarism, so far everything is original work. Wow, original. Aha. Clarity? Not very clear. In the center of town stood the grand mansion of the mayor. How about that? The mansion was a towering structure of stone and wood that loomed over the rest of the village like a watchful sentinel. Okay. And then this one right here, add a transition. The mayor sat at the head of the table. At the head of a table, period, is his head in his hands. His head was in his hands as the village constable. As the village constable stood before him, his hat before him, with his hat in his hands. His hat in his hands. Okay. Berry, take the berry out. All right, the wind and the rains. The mansion needs to be capitalized. This. All right. Your. All right. So far looks good, very clear, very engaging, just right. No plagiarism, 99%. So let's click the plagiarism again. And it should be nice and clean. Got a beginning paragraph. So this, in a nutshell, is how you can get your own novel running. You don't have to give me credit. It's all yours. I hope you have fun. Go get them. Have a good day.